And in the main event, the Mega Powers reunite, this time with Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage having Jimmy Hart and the Renegade in their corner, taking on Vader and Ric Flair with Arn Anderson. That, thankfully, is the longest match on the show. But believe it or not, this is the second longest match on the show. And I get it because you have very capable workers in here. But, if this was the UFC, they would say styles make fights. And I don't know that this is necessarily the kind of clash that makes a good fight. What do you say, Tony?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's very interesting that, and I think this says a lot about the difference in WCW and the WWF back then. That the man is going to be the biggest star ever, Steve Austin, is fighting Eddie Jackie on this pay-per-view.
On a pre-show.
On a pre-show.
Yep.
That says everything to me.
Yeah, as a reminder, Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake, he's on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And so is the Renegade on the actual pay-per-view. But Steve Austin, he got to beat the traffic with a 1-minute enhancement match over Eddie Jackie. What's your favorite Eddie Jackie match?
Probably when he went like 1 minute with Steve Austin. It was a slamboree.
Back in I remember that. Yeah, now, was that the one in Atlanta, or am I getting that confused?
No, you're getting that confused. Not the one in Atlanta.
I got you.
Hey, so the one in Atlanta was 93, and that's where I did the show with Larry Zbyszko at last minute.
Now, is that the one where Missy Hyatt was doing an interview and they jerked the microphone? Wasn't finished.
That's right. You remember that?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That slamboree, Jesse Ventura got a blood clot in his leg.
Oh.
And could not come to the show. And he was supposed to do the pay-per-view with me in 93. That was right after JR had left. And it was before cell phones back then, or before cell phones we know them now. So he had his wife, Terry, call my house and talk to Lois. And Lois got word to me that Jesse wouldn't be there. So we got Zbyszko to do the show with me. Never will forget. He said, Schiavone. I said, yeah. He said, Terry called the house to talk to your wife to tell you I wasn't going to come, but I didn't know it would be an hour's conversation.
I love that.
He said, run up the phone bill just to say I wasn't coming to work. I said, buddy, that's Lois. She gets you on the phone. You won't get off. But I remember that vividly. And I wonder, this was obviously right before the NWO, or right before Scott Hall arrived.
Yeah, we're Scott Hall would arrive the following May, so we're exactly 1 year later.
I've got a question, and I'll see what you think and see what our listeners think about this.
Okay.
Had Steve Austin come up with the badass Steve Austin that he was, drinking beer, 316, while he was in WCW, would he have been a bigger star as he would have been as Steve Austin in the WWF?
No chance.
No chance is right. It's a matter of a good gimmick and timing where you are at that time.
Yes. I mean, where you are at that time, said differently, as WCW had Hulk Hogan. And respectfully, if the WWF had Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair and Randy Savage and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and I don't know that Steve Austin would have been given the opportunity to really run with the ball.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
I think necessity is the mother of invention. And so since Vince could no longer afford some of the acts that he had made, he had to go make another one. And that meant giving opportunities to guys that, I mean, just think about how crowded it would get over here in WCW, because Goldberg comes around in 97, DDP gets hot in 97. And you've got Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and the Giant and Ric Flair. Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man. I mean, it's so crowded. Lex Luger, Sting. It's so crowded at the top that it would have been really difficult. I think he may have gotten to that U.S. champ, and he may have had a DDP type level run on top, not taking away anything from DDP, just saying the way DDP was allowed to be featured in WCW is not the same way that Steve Austin was featured in the WWE.
Yeah. Just interesting about the times and the stars. And
Yes.
now for you, you were probably what, high school age at this time? Or
Yeah, during this pay-per-view, I was 13 and not watching.
Okay, so you were middle school.
I turned 14 the next year, and
okay.
Yeah, so I guess I was in ninth grade.
Okay, then
eighth grade. Finished in eighth grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to finish eighth grade going into high school.
Yeah.
These days, of course, I'm just an old asshole watching wrestling with my buddy.
Yeah, with another old asshole.
Speaking of old assholes, I do want to give a special plug for somebody who is going to live to be a ripe old asshole, because he has dodged danger. He has looked death in the face and somehow managed to walk away. I'm talking about the incomparable Darby Allin, who climbed to the freaking top of Mount Everest. What a freaking story that is. Well, you see there, he took the AEW flag to the top of Mount Everest. I was talking to John Layfield earlier today, and he's climbed several mountains, never dared try to tackle Mount Everest, but he told me that there are actually people who passed away on this climb, and there's no way to get them down.
Right.
So they try to refer to those people as almost markers on the climb. And he referenced someone named Green Boots. And Efren, friend of the show, sent me a text of a picture of Green Boots. Dude, I knew this was dangerous. I don't think I understood just how freaking dangerous. I'm so glad that Darby did it, and he's okay. My gosh.
It's amazing. He's an amazing person, first of all. Amazing performer.
Yes.
When I say an amazing person, I don't know of anybody that has a better attitude as a wrestler than Darby Allin. And I say that because I've just listened to him talk to other wrestlers and listened to him talk in team meetings and things like that. He's just got the best attitude ever. And I had the feeling that if anybody could do it, it would be Darby Allin that could do it. You talk about the people that have died. I read, I think I did a search on Wikipedia or somewhere, or the facts of Mount Everest. Over 300 people have died on their way up.
Wow.
And they are still there. 300 bodies on the way up. And so, yeah, those are markers. And listen, the odds are you're going to make it, but so many things can go wrong. And I just so glad that Darby made it to the top. He even said, I'm going to plant that AEW flag on there because they meant so much to me. They've done so much for my career. Here's a kid who was mentioned many times. I was sleeping in my car before AEW. And he's a special kid, man. Just I think he's unbreakable. I really do.
Well, I hope we don't have to test that, because immediately people are joking. Oh, I hope he doesn't do a coffin drop off the top. Like,
right.
Hey guys, I know that's funny, but this is a real dude here. Like,
I know
he has human bones under there.
I know, but he just seems to come out. And I've seen him many times. We have all seen him many times. Just take an ass kicking and just do some incredible bumps. And every time I go in the back, I say, hey, I'll go up to him. I say, first of all, I say, thank you for putting your body on the line to give us a good show. I always tell the guys that who do something crazy. And then I say, are you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. And sometimes I think he's bullshitting me, but most time he's okay.
I mean, I've heard reports of him literally crawling to the backstage area.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me.
I hope he's okay. I hope he makes it down safe. I mean, he is one of the, as you said, most genuinely nice, polite, likable dudes you'll meet in wrestling. There's a lot of great people in wrestling, but Darby Allin's got to be near the top of that list.
Yeah, he's one kid who is in real life, to me, nothing like I see on TV.
Right.
Just a very nice, quiet young man. And I have a lot of time for him. And I can't wait till he gets back.
SaveWithConrad.com.
Hey, I'm Justin Ruffin from Knoxville, Tennessee. what got me to Save with Conrad was the 83 Weeks podcast. I really wasn't thinking about getting rid of any debt. I just wanted to cash out some equity in the house to do remodeling. But I did both, so that was pretty awesome. Worked out great. Redid the foyer, built pantry space, and there's little odds and ends when I first bought the house that I wanted to take care of, and we were able to take care of it. So, paid off 2 cars and some credit card debt. So probably all in all, getting $30,000 in that, and then I got some $30,000 more equity out of the house, and got still plenty of equity left over. So payment's good. I lowered my interest rate. I'm in a much better spot than I was. Super easy. Everybody was great. Very, very awesome people. Francis and Steve were great to work with. They were awesome. Made it for a very easy, seamless experience. I'd probably say all in all, probably $1,000 a month at least. I lowered my interest rate, especially the way the interest rates are right now, which is, that's amazing. I'm Justin Bruckman from Knoxville, Tennessee. I saved over $1,000 with SaveWithConrad.com, and I did a lot of renovations with that money as well.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender. SaveWithConrad.com.